Hello, good evening. Rumours of my demise were exaggerated. Thanks for everybody who checked in on me. This is the Black Feather, an Ospreys rugby fan cast, and I am Samantha Imray, alive, well, and kicking.
And
Hello, lads. You okay?
it's now episode 23, despite what 43, despite what I said at the end of last episode, in panic mode. I've got it right now, but yeah, doing all right. I've picked up this cold that's going around, and
Yeah.
I think you two have had it at some point recently, so you know what I'm going through. So
Yeah.
we'll see how the podcast goes.
Yeah, good
Oh,
to be back again this week. As I feel a bit like Jack Morgan at the minute, as if my minutes are being managed this season, so I'm not burnt out too soon before the autumn. But
to be honest, I think that my throat and my cough is partly to blame for the shouting I did on Saturday.
Hmm.
Um, I was sharp on Saturday. I was with my commenting. People around me now, I've had to introduce myself to them and say, if you've got a season ticket, I also have a season ticket. I'm going to be stuck by you all season. I apologise in advance. Myself and Andrew, my friend, we are hooligans. But they were quite amused by some of the stuff that I was saying. But I was fairly energetic on Saturday. One thing I think we need to do before we move on, I got the reason why I dropped out last week was my battery on my laptop was going, and I was digging around for a wire, and unfortunately I pulled the wrong wire. My Alexa fell off the windowsill, fell on the internet cable, and cut my entire house off of internet, which would have been fine, apart from the fact that I've got really long nails. It's a small little thing that I've got to try and jiggle and get in. And John was on the PlayStation and shouted up the stairs, "What the are you doing?" Panic mode ensued. So nothing more sinister than that. But I was on the precipice of telling you that Barbie next year are bringing out female rugby player dolls, and I need the Alona Mayo one. So
Yeah.
that's the suspense that I left you in for a week. I'm really sorry. Um, but other than that, I was off work last week, had a very, very busy week. Mark, you were mega busy last week. Rod, you were mega busy last week.
Mhm.
And then we get to Saturday and we had our first home game at the Brewery Field.
Yeah.
Met up beforehand, stood next to Rod's very tall friend, Brogan. Hi, Brogan. I
Shame
like
he
you,
didn't
Rod.
play rugby. The
Yeah,
Scarlets could do
football
with a lock,
player.
couldn't they? They could do with a
yeah,
lock.
Well, they've signed someone
they've
I've
got a
just seen.
they got a back row in again, haven't they? So
Yeah, they've just
Yeah.
signed
Yeah.
someone from a New Zealander, I believe. I
you say
didn't
this
know.
isn't a youngster. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Impressive youngster though. Yeah, Brogan, shame you didn't play rugby, boo. But he was trying to
Yeah.
tell me that he didn't think he was good looking and he had a big nose. And I felt really bad for him because I turned around and said, "Well, if I saw you in a pub when I was younger, I'd flirt with you." And then I realised that's really cougary. Like, I'm old enough to be his mammy. So I'm sorry,
Hey,
Brogan, if
well,
you feel
he was
uncomfortable.
very surprised when you told him your age, and I won't bring it up here. I'll leave you reveal that
I thought,
information if
yeah, I
you
don't give a
wanted
shit.
to. But yeah, he was surprised, wasn't he? To
I
say the
know.
least.
He can be
Did,
my
did,
friend.
did that
Like,
boost your
literally.
ego?
Do you know what, right? I'm loving life. When people tell me I don't look my age, I'm literally like, oh my God, fat people are my
Well,
natural collagen.
I had a similar experience on the weekend, didn't I? So
You did.
Keith's old man, Keith from
And
Leith's old
Giles,
man.
Gilo,
Yes,
I
but
go,
specifically, and sorry, I didn't actually catch his name. Do you know his name, Sam? Keith's
oh, don't put me on
father.
the spot like that. I barely know my own
Pa-
name these days.
Papa Keith, introduce yourself next
Papa
time
Keith,
with
yeah,
your name as well. But he did say that I look better in real life than I do on the podcast and younger. So,
yeah.
yeah, so the cameras apparently, I don't know, adding weight, adding years. So, not happy about that.
oh, that's
Maybe I need
terrifying. Then I'm in
You're
that case, I must have to look
97.
about 75 then. Yeah,
to.
bloody hell.
No, it was really nice. They came up and had a chat with
Yeah.
us, because we know
Hmm.
that they listen. So big shout out to both of you. Spoke to Mama Giles as well, who was telling us about their Japan trip and being away with Keelan.
Hmm.
Um, Papa Giles, I'm losing weight. If I get anything in me, I'm stealing that. I'm stealing last year's jacket off you. You knows it. Apparently this year's jacket is pink. If that's the case, Rhys Henry, I'm coming for your jacket.
I've got a feeling
Honestly.
he was just winding you up.
He's probably winding me up. He always winds me up every time he sees me. But if there is a pink jacket, I am prepared to commit murder for one. I'm just putting it out there. Like, absolutely. If anybody knows me, I am obsessed with the colour pink. If you look at my notebook, my water bottle, makeup palettes, lipsticks, face cream, it's all pink. I love pink. I'm a girly girl in that respect. But it was our first home outing
And it
at
was a good,
Brewery
it was
Field.
enjoyable affair, wasn't it?
It
The
was. The
sun
weather
started
was
coming out a
lovely.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, weather was lovely. We had a nice few drinks in the Riverside beforehand. Have to be honest, quite enjoyed it in there. John had a pint, 2 cans of Coke and something else, and it came to £6.
hmm
Happy
And
days.
if you're even more strapped for cash, they have a cash-only can
And
bar
bar.
in the corner, which
Oh,
yeah, let's not say any more words about the legality of that, but yeah, ca cans over the
listen,
counter in the corner.
Oh, lovely.
I'm
Like an
not going to
18th
judge,
birthday
right?
party from 1992 then, yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So, a couple of teething issues getting into the ground. That's fine. We're ironing those out. Nice 4,000 plus attendance, which considering the attendance we've been having at the .com, then great. You could really
Uh,
tell the number of people that were in there. It was a vibe.
it felt like 6,000, felt like 7,000. Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah,
condense that many people into, you know, a significantly smaller area, and it just sounds a whole lot
it did. It
better.
sounded
Yeah.
like a cauldron of noise, and it was
And
it
on
was
TV,
it was
yeah,
great.
TV the same.
Mhm.
It came across really well on telly as well. You know, it's like in
Oh,
the
good.
.com at times last season. It sounded like you could hear a pin drop and somebody shouting in one corner and answering in the furthest corner.
Yeah.
You know, it sounded like a crowd. It sounded like
hmm
an atmosphere.
If you heard anybody shouting "Testa di caso," it was me. I learned the phrase for dickhead in Italian on the weekend through Google Translate. So it was me. If you heard anyone on the television shouting at their number 9 that his highlights were shit, it was me. I'm not going to deny it. The people around me, I'm really sorry. This is what you've got all season. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. But we were looking for a win.
hmm
We got a win, but we didn't get that bonus point try. Now, I've never won a game before where I've said I'm frustrated or I'm disappointed.
hmm
And I should be happy with that 24-0. I should, but I wanted that bonus point.
It's an odd feeling, really, isn't it? Because arguably, of the 3 games so far, this is the one that I've come out most disappointed from, and it's the only
Yeah,
one that we've won. The other two felt more like wins in ways, so it
Yeah.
was a bit of an odd one. We should have put more on them. We had the opportunity to score
plenty.
probably 2 or 3 more tries, to be completely frank. So full credit to Zebra. They look pretty stagnant at points, but despite that, they sort of their
Their
defense
defence held.
remained relatively solid throughout, and they did have parity in the game. It never felt like we were going to lose it, but it never felt like we fully got rid of them. So credit to them. But yeah, shame we didn't get that bonus point because it may cost us later on
Gutting,
in the
gutting.
season.
It
It
would have
felt like
made,
it was there for the taking.
yeah, it would have made a heck of a difference. Um, and I thought it was really interesting. I've watched the match back a couple of times since because um I love being in the ground, but I do miss those big screens and my
Mm.
really, really good seat in the stadium. But I love that closeness to the pitch and I love that vibe and that atmosphere. So I watched it back a couple of times and it was really interesting to me to where Jack Walsh, Derry, and Mark Jones said, look, we've learned loads from the 2 games out in South Africa, but we're disappointed in that. We're frustrated. I
Mm.
love that ambition, that
Mm.
of wanting more, of thinking that you can do more. What I am loving is the set piece is getting better. There are still individual standout performances like Jack Walsh, like Deeves, Dewi again, fantastic. So Dan, fantastic. I could reel out names, but they looked like a team. They looked like they're really gelling now. That
Yeah.
I think that 2 weeks
Yeah.
in South Africa, they proper come together.
Yeah, I think we have to be positive. Looking at the context of how both teams come into the game as well, we'd come off two really tough South African challenges. Zebre had come off 2 wins to start the season, so their confidence was high coming into the game as well. You know, always a bit more pressure on us at home. There's an expectation, especially against teams like Zebre, that we're going to win and win comfortably. That's just not the case with Zebre anymore. They're a better team than they have been for years. You know, they've built that last season and they've built that again into this year. You know, we nilled them. You can't be disappointed when defensively you don't concede a point. Yes, like you said, Rod, they were pretty stagnant in attack, but defensively they were very stout. You know, they were very organised. They'd come to limit, I think, the points that we put on them. And yes, I mean, Mark Jones rightly points out that we left an awful lot of points out there. I mean, it looked like in the first 15, 20 minutes like we were going to run away with it and have a bonus point sewed up by half time. Didn't prove to be the case. And I think the longer the game went on, the more little errors crept in, little niggles of drop passes and, you know, passes going astray, and you know, just that accuracy went as the substitutions came and stuff as well. But I think you have to take it as a positive of,
Yeah,
you know, at 4 points, no points conceded, home win.
Yeah.
So I take confidence, I think, from that.
yeah. And the reality is, your bonus point shouldn't be relying on the last play of the game. Really, should it?
No,
It should be sewn up.
Yeah,
It should be sewn up before then. You know, you've got to give credit to Zebre where credit is actually due, because, you know, defensively they kept strong. You know, they slowed us down, they forced handling errors, they made it difficult for like Kasende in the air. So, you know, fair play to them. The fact that they were nil doesn't necessarily reflect how they played and how they frustrated our game.
Mhm.
Another positive for me is we did better in the second half. We did extend that performance. It did take us a while to get going in the second half, but I think of the 3 tries that we scored, then they were all 3 really nice tries. Obviously, the first try where, you know, that Dean set up for Big Phil, great try. You know, Morgan's try again, that flat pass and that angle that he chose was great.
Yeah.
And again, with Rat, he showed his pure dominance with that, with the angle he went for and the first tackle on him not being dominant by Zebre. You know, they're 3 really nice tries for me. And I think another thing for me, I've got to be thinking, right, he's putting his hand up for Wales. You know, he's come on in leaps and bounds since he's come from Cardiff. He's big, he's physical, does a lot of quiet grunt work. He's not like flashy or showy, but he's always there. He can carry, he's physical, you know, he can play across that back row, really, can't he? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So lots of positives to take from that.
A big positive for me, Sam, just to butt in there before we move on, is just how we seem to be identifying issues each week and correcting them the week after. Very, very clearly. You know, that first game of the season out in the Bulls, we were we were missing a lot of tackles, and there were some huge gaps around the edges of rucks, and we completely got that under wraps for the Stormers game the next week. And then scrums were an issue during that game. This week now, we've put that to bed. And granted, we were scrummaging up against, you know, Zebre. No disrespect, but they're not the Bulls or the Stormers when it comes to upfront strength and brute force. So you've got to take that into consideration. But we were utterly dominant in the set piece in that way. And that was just, really pleasing on the week before. So I think that mentality is really shining out for me. The fact that they are being able to sort of critically analyze the game and make those improvements on a week turnaround, essentially.
The analysis is the analysis that must be going on behind the scenes, and for the players to take that on board in such a short period of time, you're
Yeah.
right. That's really, really, really impressive.
I think one area where both teams missed out on Saturday was getting to grips with the referee's breakdown interpretation. He was very, very quick to ping both sides, but neither side really got to grips with that. There was lots of infringement, lots of people giving the ref the opportunity to make those decisions. And it was disappointing we got in some good positions and then got pinged for sort of offsides and things or whatever. So something to clean up maybe in terms of the breakdown, I would say next week.
We didn't have a lot of consistency in my eyes around that always, which again, you've got to play the ref to a certain extent, haven't you? And I don't think we did that perhaps on Saturday to the best that we could do it.
Yeah, and I think you try it a few times, don't you? I mean, there are referees who are far more lenient at the breakdown. Once you know you can get away with it, then fine, go for it. Yeah. But if the ref's pinging you, quickly, then that's the time then to start making those.
Yeah. Our penalty count was better as well.
Yeah.
This week. Did you start the old Daniel Cassende over your side, Rod?
Yes, we did. And
he was very appreciative of that.
I don't know, he looked a bit embarrassed for a moment. He was like, oh, Christ.
No, he then started. Didn't you see him clapping at you then?
Yeah, no, he is great. He's a good sport about it, isn't he? We did start that on our side. I think it got going at another point by somebody else as well. And then somebody started chanting just a generic Dewi Lake. And I said, no, over our side, behind me.
Oh, we were doing it our side as well.
No, it's to the tune of Daddy Cool. I can't remember who suggested it to us on Twitter. So the two of us were then chanting, Dewi Lake.
He's Dewi Lake. Yeah, we were doing that over our side as well.
Uh-huh.
I tried to get We Love You, Harry, We Do going, my side. But I've got to say, congratulations, Mr. Deebs, on your 50th cap. You had another stormer of a game. It was so lush to see your little youth that you coach there. They were all there with I don't know if you saw them over your side. They all had yellow baseball caps on, and they were really chanting over our side and trying to get something going. So if they can come back and give that vibe every week, that would be amazeballs, if I'm being honest. What other standouts? I did like the little bit of niggle that Dan had just before the end of the second half. Obviously something really, really got to him. He was kind of helped himself up off the Italian player. The Italian player took great offence to that. So I think it was a bit of something and nothing. But I love the fact he didn't back down.
Do you know what we need? I was watching the ice hockey this week. We need one weekend a season where if any fights break out, they just let them go for it. Just one weekend a season, like, sort of all-in weekend or whatever they want to call it. Because I do miss that a little bit. If there was a punch thrown, then there was another
99
thrown back, wouldn't it? But yeah, it's a shame that it's just handbags now, isn't it? It's just pushing, shoving, and nothing's going to come of it.
Yeah, this is not rugby in any way, shape, or form. But I quite like hockey, and Canada and USA are proper. They hate each other in hockey. Have you seen the most recent international that they've had? And there were 3 fights within 9 seconds. Yeah. And I mean, gloves off, proper punch. One Canadian punched the Yank so hard his helmet came off. And he's in there and he was like, fuck it, it was worth it. He's like, got put in the box and he's like, fuck it, it was worth it. Then the goalie gets involved. Honestly, it was carnage. Within 3 seconds, you've had like 3 people put in the box. It was banging. Gloves off, the shirts, all
should make an appeal. Yeah, World Rugby, one weekend a season where the players are allowed to just go for it.
Yeah, just go for it. Like, smack your opponent, so to speak. Moriarty had another nice physical game, Rod, for you.
Yes, he did, didn't he? He just demonstrated how much he loves the contact. I know he said the same last week, but he's so up for it, isn't he? I just love seeing him. Seeing a gap and choosing not to run at the gap, but to run at the player on the side of it. Yeah. Just chuck the elbow out, questionable sort of intent, but always just on the right side of things.
Yeah.
Not getting called up on it. Yeah, he's great, isn't he? And I agree. He's a different player to what he was at the Dragons. He seems to have lost a bit of weight, increased his
He looks
athleticism,
good.
and he's very dynamic, isn't he? And he looks
Yeah.
he looks big, you know.
Mm.
Maybe it's
Oh,
just
he's a
because we've been
unit.
used to looking at Jack Morgan and Morgan Morris and Harry Deeves for the last few years, and none of them are, the tallest players in their various positions across the league. So it is nice to just seeing a bit of a
A big
physical
gnarly one.
specimen. Yeah.
Possibly
It's
putting his hand up for a Wales recall, maybe. I say
Oh,
Wales needs a nice
I
physical
wouldn't be
six, don't they?
surprised. Tandy
He
was
fits the
there.
mold, doesn't he, of what we need?
yes,
Tandy was just
yes.
along for me.
And
Um,
we've seen Tane Plumtree this weekend show how not to be that kind of player,
Yeah.
losing your head, not keeping you cool, biting and snapping in moments, and just losing his cool. Obviously, he'll develop that. He's a younger player than Ross, isn't it? But
age
Ross seems to have
comes
that down. He's got
maturity.
it's controlled aggression. That's when it's really satisfying to watch, isn't it? Is when you've got good
You turn it
control
on and
of
off.
your aggression. Yeah.
Turn it on and off. But I think for me, Jack Walsh really deserved his man of the match. He
Yeah.
really helped Dan control the game. He was like having a little second 10 on the field. So I think that axis is working quite well there.
His
I did think,
breakaway almost try
yeah,
could have been one of the best tries of the season for the Ospreys
yeah,
if it had come off, and there was a few
Yeah.
moments like that.
yeah. And
Um,
I loved it. Someone asked him, you know, where do you see yourself playing? Blah blah blah. And he went, look, as long as you don't put me in the forwards, I'll play anywhere, mate.
yeah,
And I
Yeah.
just love that anywhere but the forwards, anywhere but the forwards. And when I really thought that again, he talked about the backroom analysis and how they're all looking to develop week on week and build.
hmm
And I think that's what you want. You don't want the finish article at the start of the season, do you? Because you're just allowing everybody else to get up to your level.
yeah.
You don't want to peak too soon, do you? And I did like that Derby said, Brewery Field is like a home away from home for the Ospreys. And again, they're looking to build, they're looking to do a more complete performance. They want to be more ruthless and more clinical in that second half. They don't want to
Mm.
let tries go begging. So I like that level of ambition
Yeah.
that they're showing.
For me, across all three games so far, we've demonstrated that we can do all aspects of the game really
Yeah.
well on any given day. It's just about stitching all those elements together now into one sort of cohesive performance where
Yeah,
we can deploy all of our various weapons and demonstrate all our skills without it being at the expense of other aspects of the
something
game.
else.
Because that's what it
Yeah.
seems like a little bit at the moment. As we're just like working the balance, one thing improves, the other one just goes down a little bit. It's just getting
It's
them all
coming.
firing. Yeah,
That performance is coming. I feel
yeah.
that in absolutely in my bones.
And I know we're getting there, but this weekend's game is the one to
Vital.
do it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
Glasgow
shout.
is going to be an attritional game, and it's going to be our first real opportunity at home to prove our sort of stake, our right to compete for top 8 position at home against one of the best. So
I would
yeah.
just like to point out that my husband will be attending the match in his Glasgow shirt and his Glasgow gilet.
Disappointing. Very
Jonathan Smith
Whoever
is the
throws a
formal
pint over him,
derivation of law.
whoever throws a pint over him, I'll replace your pint. I'll pay for your next pint.
Oh, you know what, right? Honestly, we've already started taking the mickey out of him in our group chat. Um, I will give him this because I've said it before on the pod and I'll say it again. He loves the Ospreys, don't get me wrong, but I've made him have a season ticket. He loves going away to watch Wales play rugby, but again, I make him do it. So I will be supportive next week and I will support his option. I will support his right to be a Glasgow fan. But you know what I'm targeting for next week? Selfie with Sionis Chupolotto.
Mm.
Do we think I can?
Hopefully, he makes the journey down.
I'd be
They're
really
going to want
disappointed.
revenge. They're going to want
They are.
revenge on last
They
season,
are.
aren't they? So they'll probably come fully loaded. I think they probably
And
see us as a bit of a banana skin.
yeah, his dad was down last season, and his dad was lovely. His dad was really, really lovely. His dad was down when we played Edinburgh. That's why I'm saying his dad, because obviously his brother plays for Edinburgh. I was speaking to his dad, and I had a picture with his brother. And in all fairness, they did stay around the pitch quite a lot to have selfies with the kids. So we'll get on to that in a bit. But I was really busy. I was out all day on Friday, so I didn't see anything Friday night. I was out all day on Saturday because I went to Bridgend and then I went straight to Pontardawe to watch Ignacio Lopez. So I kind of missed the loop. I watched the little 3-minute catch-ups on everything, but I've not watched everything. However, bless her, what the actual frig is that?
Yeah,
I know.
It's pretty rank, wasn't
I
it?
just don't know what I just don't know what to say, right? Because it's not a lock I've ever seen before.
When I saw it
Yeah.
first, I thought it was like a CGI mock-up of somebody taking the mick out of him, and then actually watched the game back and realised that he was real. And I thought, oh my god, yeah, that's.
It was a bit Smeagol, wasn't it? It looked a bit Smeagolish.
It was not awesome. It was not awesome. I'll just leave it at that, right? Because to be honest, I've had a bit of a kick in from Turk fans over the weekend again. I don't need it anymore in my life because I used the phrase, I could not give a flying fuck over a rolling donut to one this weekend. And my insults are getting strong now. I'm not obsessed with you. I couldn't give a shit about you and your box team.
My mum listens to this pod, as you know, Sam, and she's telling me to tell you to watch your language because you're
sorry, Storm.
Because it's getting progressively worse.
Oh no, we're gonna have to put the PG-13 rating on it, don't we?
I'm really, really sorry.
Well, I'm saying this
I will try
as editor. I'm saying this as editor because I can't be asked. You leave it in. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't be asked to have to go through and bleep everything out. So don't give me the work.
I'm just glad that my mum doesn't listen. Otherwise, she wouldn't let me actually do it anymore.
You're not hanging out with those friends anymore, Mark.
My mum's a lunatic, so she's okay. She probably would use swear words that would make anybody blush. But I did actually use that phrase over the weekend, and I was just like, he was like, "Why are you so obsessed with us, mate? I don't care. Ah, bothered. Like, leave me alone." But moving on, we are back. My URC roundup last week was shit. Is yours going to be better, Mark? Come on.
I have watched a lot of rugby this weekend. I've been off all weekend and Friday and Monday. So I've had a bit of catch-up time as well today. So yes, I have watched a lot of rugby. I'm back with the vengeance. So starting Friday night then, Munster 20, Edinburgh 19. So Edinburgh again at the wrong end of a tight one. 2 late tries for Munster, one midway through the second half and one with about 5 minutes to go. Snuck them the win. I say Edinburgh would be disappointed, having had 2 now very narrow away defeats to start the season. But Munster going strong. It was a decent performance by Munster, not outstanding, but they pulled out the win, which is what they were looking for, and the bonus point for the try as well, for the 4th try bonus. So
as we call it, they did a Munster.
Exactly. Yeah. They'd be happy with that. 5-point move on. At the same time as that game was going on, though, on Friday, I did very much enjoy watching the Scarlets. Scarlets nil. Can I just repeat that? Scarlets nil. Stormers 34.
Was that nil?
It was nil. Yeah. Did you not catch that?
Did you say nil?
I did say nil. Yeah, I did say nil.
Can I just say in my notes here, the only thing I've got for the Scarlet section is ha 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 ha. That's just all I've written in.
It's not often a home team gets nilled, is it? And not just nilled, but nilled and humiliated as well.
No.
Yeah. To be well, first thing I was going to say was how much it puts our performance away to the Stormers in real context as well. I was quite surprised. I mean, obviously I missed last week's pod, but there was quite a lot of criticism of our second half against the Stormers and how we couldn't sort of, push on in that second half, which I was quite surprised about. But I think this puts it into context. The Stormers were powerful, defensively well organised, clinical. And the Scarlets were just blunt again. We said it 2 weeks ago. Same again tonight. For all the names they've got in that back line, they're just not clicking. They're not firing. There was lots to make.
Back three.
Yeah, and of course the change at 10 with Wales's future number 10. Who I've forgotten his name now.
Joe Hawkins.
Joe
Not
Hawkins,
a great first
sorry.
outing for him.
No. I was slightly worried when I saw him being put in a 10. I thought your worst fears from a couple of weeks ago, Rod, were going to come true, and they were going to try and shoehorn him in as a 10, and then all of a sudden come the first autumn international, there he is at 10. But not the most auspicious start at 10 for him. He's already said apparently that he wants to play 10. Just go back to 12, stay there, I think.
Not convinced he's the answer to our problems. Not yet, anyway.
Scarlets will be worried from the start that they've made. A lot of pressure on Dwayne Peel. They go to the Lions, isn't it, this weekend?
South African games now.
Yeah, that's going to be a big challenge for them. Lions have had a poor start to the season as well, but Scarlets are almost in must-win territory already. So, tough time to very
Lions,
sad.
then Sharks, the two teams that ideally you face at home.
Exactly. So, a very sad evening for the Scarlets fans who were not happy. They made their feelings quite clear as well, I think. Quite an unhappy sounding crowd. As a bit of a contrast to ours, I think, on Saturday as well. Moving on to Saturday then, Benetton Lions, very, very straightforward win for Benetton, 41-15. Benetton could look a decent team, good attacking structure. They're going to be difficult to beat at home, I think, this season. It's whether they can pick up enough points away from home, I think, will ultimately decide whether they get into the playoffs or not. But it's going to be a tough place for anybody to travel this year. Very, very dominant win. Whether it's the Lions kit, I don't know, which is absolutely hideous. Doesn't bring out the best rugby in them. But whatever it is, the Lions look like sort of whipping boys a little bit at the moment this season. They didn't show an awful lot. And I think they might seriously struggle based on what we've seen so far this season. Talking of whipping boys, the poor Dragons went up to Glasgow. Again at half-time, was still in the game, 14-0 down at half-time, put up a decent showing in the first half, and then just fell apart second half that we saw so many times last year. It's a pity because they were showing a few signs of improvement, a few signs that things were going to be different this season. And the first time they've been put under proper pressure, really, they've really cracked. And I know Glasgow are a good team, and they're going to be there or thereabouts this season. But to ship 49 points, 7 tries, not good enough in any context, really. And tough times for the Dragons again.
It's quite funny, really, isn't it? Because it's like they saw the Scarlets game and went, "No, we're the worst team in Wales."
Hold our beer.
Yeah. I mean, the Dragons did make quite a few changes for this game as well. I think they're obviously targeting other games. They weren't expecting to go to Glasgow and win. So they did make several changes to give them a little bit of an excuse, maybe. But it just shows, how shallow their squad is, really, and just hope it doesn't knock their confidence too much going forward for the next few games.
That's the thing. Is it worth it? Is getting nilled worth it as just like a psychological thing? Especially if you just pack up their backpacks and go, right, there you go, youngsters. See what you can do.
Yeah.
Go play the champions from 2 seasons ago in their backyard.
I'm literally now, because I'm going up to the Dragons game and we're going like Billy Big Bollocks hospitality. And I'm just praying, please, just don't do me dirty. Like,
their annual win against us. Yeah.
Honestly, I booked first class train tickets. I'm doing like their top-notch hospitality. Do not do me dirty now, lads. Like, don't. Just don't. Don't even think about it.
Tough time for the Dragons. I mean, the only consolation they've got is that the Lions are worse than them at the moment, and so are the Scarlets. So
and
happy days.
And they've got what, 3 games now that are potentially winnable for them in a row. So it might pay off as a tactical decision. If they win the next 2, we're not going to remember this game in a couple of weeks' time, are we? So
true.
See how it plays out for them.
Yeah, moving on then on Saturday, Leinster certainly back with a vengeance, 31-5 win over the Sharks. For them, the Sharks were pitiful in the first half. They were so poor. Leinster just tore them apart continuously, could have scored way more tries than they did. The Sharks did wake up second half, but they were done by that point anyway. You do wonder how long they're going to stay patient with John Plumtree. I know the Sharks fans weren't happy with him last season. I know they made the playoffs and whatever, but they're not playing a brand of rugby that the fans are happy with. They're not travelling well, certainly. They picked up the majority of their points at home. And just, for the amount of talent and big names in that team, then not performing to a level that they should be by any stretch. I know Leinster put out a strong team, but very, very dominant by Leinster, very, very one-sided. Ulster's good start. Well, I say good start of the season. They beat the Dragons, but now have beaten the Bulls as well. So Ulster 28, the Bulls 7. Bit of a statement win maybe for Ulster, but also shows the South African teams maybe don't travel as well. You have an opportunity when they come to your patch, and Ulster were ruthless. 4-try win for them. Good display. Ulster looking a good side this year. To be fair, they're not afraid to throw it around, play some nice rugby. And the Bulls, disappointing, but the touring South African teams are a different beast to what they are at home. Certainly.
Was that a loaded Bulls side?
No,
I didn't watch
they weren't. No, they weren't at full strength by any stretch.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
The Bulls haven't got a weak team to put out at the end of the day.
No. But as you said, Ulster,
yeah,
they're strong in their own right this season, aren't they, Ulster?
Definitely,
they've got size across the entire back line, so very good win for them. Yeah,
it is. And then finally, Cardiff 14, Connacht 8. Cardiff's performance sort of mirrored ours quite a bit. I think they had an awful lot of chances. They had an awful lot of the ball. Just couldn't really convert the chances that they had, very much like us, really. Connacht looked very, very ordinary, very sort of one-dimensional, which is quite surprising for them because they're known to be quite an attacking team, but they seem to have sort of dried up a little bit in that flair this season so far. 2 decent tries for Scarlet. Scarlet got Nill, sorry, didn't they? Sorry, yeah. I just ignored that one.
0.
Yeah, Bowen, 2 tries for Bowen. First one from what seems to be a weekly occurrence with Callum Sheedy's kick pass to a winger. There seems to be at least one of those in every Cardiff game. And then a late interception try as well to seal the win. Cardiff, as I said, very reminiscent of our performance, really. Lots of promise from Cardiff in that performance, but couldn't quite put it all together. But again, they'll be happy with a 4-point win and move on to next week. So
they'll be buggered though if Tom Bowen goes down injured because he is scoring all of their tries at the moment. I think he's top of the URC try scorer list.
Yes,
with 5 now across 5 in the last 2 games.
Yeah, and his
very impressive stuff.
Yeah.
Did I see that? Did Josh Adams go off injured in that game?
I don't remember Josh Adams. I remember
No.
Teddy Williams went off, which is worrying.
Yes,
quite a nasty injury, so that's a worry for the autumn. Not sure about Josh Adams.
I feel like I saw something, but maybe I'm inventing that. But I'm just thinking of Tom Bowen in the context of potential Wales call-up and who he's going to be competing with come the autumn, with obviously Mason Grady out injured, Lewis Rees-Zammit, who's picked up a knock in the last couple of weeks and might miss the start of the tournament. He's the kind of player who could suddenly find himself in contention. I don't think Rio Dyer's been putting his hand up at all.
Josh Adams didn't go off injured because he didn't play.
Oh, didn't he?
No.
Okay. Me last week with getting the Owens confused, and you this week now.
No, didn't play.
Let's just start the rumour. We'll just start the rumour anyway.
The rumour now, shall we?
I've got a burner account and I'll post it on some Cardiff Facebook.
Am I the only one who doesn't have a burner account?
And I obviously wasn't paying an awful lot of attention either because I watched the whole game and didn't notice that Josh Adams didn't play either. So that's not great.
Well, I would just like to say I saw some of the Connacht players on Friday wandering around Cardiff. I was with my mum. She told me not to be embarrassing and asked for selfies. But I did speak to one of the coaches outside a shoe shop, and I asked them to do a number on Cardiff for us, and he let me down.
Mm.
But I would like to point out that their training jacket that he was wearing, chef's kiss, very nice.
You're
See, I
such a
was going to
rugby
say,
fashionista.
but I was then also going to say how disappointed I was with their away kit this season, just a plain white number. You know, Connacht have had really great kits the last few seasons, and
They normally your kit choice, aren't they?
they are. But I was disappointed with their away shirt. I like the home shirt this season again, but the away shirt not for me.
Glasgow's
Just plain.
European shirt got announced this morning, and that was really, really nice. But
We'll go on to kits in a bit, don't we?
we'll go on to
Kits in a bit. Yeah.
Proper kit. We obviously head into round 4 next week, and I do think, I know I said it last week, our game in Zebre was my choice for the weekend, but I think our game against Glasgow is going to be quite tasty as well. You know, with us coming off that, wanting to prove that we can put that performance together, that we can string together the full 80 minutes, that we can be truly ruthless in a game. And obviously they don't hold any fear for us because we beat them. Yes, they're Glasgow. Yes, they got the class there. But I don't normally do this. This is normally Rod's territory. But I was having a little bit of a dig around on the URC app on the stats. And man to man, in like the top 20s across the board, we have got more, if not, yeah, we're on a par. If not, we've got more players within those top 20 spots than Glasgow. So individually, we've got some really strong performances across those boards. Not going to bore you with numbers and stuff, but when I was looking at it, man for a man, then we are right up there. Although we're not of where we are in the table, our individual performances, there are some outstanding figures there with regards to, you know, meters made, carries, you know, turnovers. Dan Cassende's up there for turnovers as well, like, which blows my mind. You know, so I think I'm a bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie. I am a bit nervous, but I think with a hostile brewery field, with a dark Saturday evening kickoff, I think the odds could be in our favour, lads. I don't want to be too excited about it.
It feels a bit of a litmus test, isn't it, really? You know, with that South Africa game, you know, those 2 South African games beginning of the season were always going to be tough. We probably exceeded maybe expectation in terms of performance, certainly in those 2 games, maybe not in terms of points that we brought back, but in terms of performance. Did what we needed to against Zebre, showed some nice touches in that game, but this is the first game where maybe we can expect to take down one of the big boys.
One of the big.
And I think, you know, it's an opportunity for us to do that at home. It'll put a marker down, I think, for us if we can get the win, in terms of put everybody else on notice that we mean business this season. So yeah, absolutely massive game.
Where are you standing on it, Rod?
You're on mute, Rod.
Oh, sorry, I'm on mute. I was pumping up the little bladder on the back of my chair that puts a nice little bit of support in your back, so I didn't want you guys to hear that. Sorry about that. I'm just
I think he was popping.
Yeah. I wasn't doing anything suspicious down here.
Show me your hands.
So yeah, I was just nodding in agreement and taking a look at the stats page myself, and I'm looking at the head-to-head now between Glasgow and us, and across the last 4 or 5 meetings, last 4 meetings. So we've won 2 each. Average points scored: us 27, them 29. So you know, there's not much in it at all when it comes to.
It's tighter than an Antonica, it really
history.
is.
Yeah. So I think this can go anyway. The Lions are not going to enjoy coming down to the brewery. I think that will have a real impact in terms of their sort of product on the pitch, particularly when they've got 4,000 Swansea / Bridgend locals, standing 2 foot away from them, hanging over the barriers. So yeah, I'm optimistic about this one. I really hope the boys can go out and just show that we are capable of competing with the best. We tend to take a couple of scalps each season, so maybe this can be one.
Knowing that we're that close, I could teach you some Scottish insults if you want. That you could throw out there. Like suck my plumes is a good one. Smooch my hope
Okay.
is another one that I quite like. If you're being sarky, you can go, "Are you okay, Hen?" If they do something really bad. But I just, I think we should shove a few of those in at some stage. Um, you know, but I do think we can. Yes,
Hmm.
they're a big scalp, but I think it is really tight between both of us, and we
Yeah.
just need that little click. And I think we were saying amongst us on Saturday that our style of play now is so expansive and attacking, and we're looking to hit those wide channels. It's lovely to watch, and when it works, the tries are beautiful. If we can just get that to click, I
Yeah.
can't see why we can't beat them.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're going to need most things to come off, aren't we, for us on Saturday, really. Everything that
We'll be
didn't quite
punished.
work out on Saturday, we need to finish this weekend because Glasgow are going to put a fair amount of points you would expect up themselves.
Yeah.
So it should be quite an entertaining game in that respect. So then we're going to have to take the opportunities when they come and be as clinical as we can, certainly more clinical than we were on the weekend.
Yeah. Look,
Yeah,
I think the boys now more than ever, we're only 3 games in, but I feel like they'll have something to prove for the next game because they left stuff out there, and that's more sickening than just taking a hammer in, really, isn't it? Is knowing that
yeah.
you weren't at your best, you didn't seize your moments. So that's going to be the work on this week, isn't it? Is
Sunday's
if
going to
you've
be
got an
frustrated.
opportunity, take it. We fluffed
Yeah.
up so much ball in the wide channels last week. And that's been uncharacteristic of us so far this season. So, that's the final 1 or 2%, isn't it? We were doing the bulk of the work to get there, but then we were just fluffing our lines and fumbling
Yeah,
ball or getting tackled into touch. So, yeah, it'll click. Hopefully it'll be in this game. And if it does, I think we're in with a shot of scoring a few tries. And, if you can score a few tries, you can win.
yeah,
Yeah.
and get those points difference working for us
Yeah.
because we have scored what across the first 2 games out in South Africa, like 8 tries. We've now scored another 3 on top of that. So we're locking that spread under Mark Jones. Again, no disrespect to Toby, that spread under Mark Jones, those tries are coming in quicker and faster
Hmm.
than they were under Toby. Nice to see Jack out on the pitch beforehand, having a little bit of a run out, making URC making Rod's Lord
Yeah.
of the Rings dreams come true. By
That was
posting
fantastic,
some nice
honestly.
clips of Jack with the Lord of the Rings stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and I just can't wait to see him back on the field. I just can't. And that's again, I love Harry Deeves. I love what he's done, but he's had a really big 3 games.
Mm.
He's got the heart of a lion. He's got the fight of a rabid dog as Harry Deeves, and he's got a heart as big as a whale. And I love him. And there's a place for that. But I think we want our talisman back on the weekend.
I know we'll
You
talk
know,
about our team selections probably in a second, but it'd be interesting to see Glasgow's team selection this weekend as well, because there's 2 match weekends to go now before the international break.
yeah,
They've got us now this weekend, and then they've got the Bulls at home the following weekend. Now, you would think that their Scotland internationals are going to be playing one game or the other.
or the other, yeah.
So, do they spread them across the 2 matches and spread their squad that way? Do they target one game more than the other? It'd be interesting to see what side they actually put out against us, and that would be an indicator really of whether they're targeting this game or maybe the following week
Over the
against.
Bulls.
Yeah.
or whether they cocky and they think, all right, we didn't do great against the two South African teams, so they can send through a semi-strong team because it's not clicking for us at the minute. You would hope that they wouldn't give us that disrespect, but you don't know, do you? But teams-wise, what we thinking, I've not heard anything about. Kieran looked like he was dazed and confused when he came off on Saturday with that knock. So I don't know whether he's in, the mix for Saturday or whether Ruben's back in. Again, I thought Ruben was great when he came on.
Well, that's the second game in a row now that he's had a knock, and we thought they might not be there the week after. So it might be a case there made for bringing Ruben in. Maybe even putting Lukey Dye on the bench. Although it is a big game to do so. If Hardy is fit, you'd want him there as a reserve, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I'm going to say I was one thing that annoyed me in the Premier commentary on Saturday. They were quite disrespectful, I thought, of Sir Ruben. They kept on saying that he was Kieran's understudy at the Ospreys and for Wales. Mentioned it multiple times during the game. And I love both players equally. I think they complement each other well, and I think for us as an Ospreys, I think they sort of,
it's nice to have the strength and depth.
Yeah, exactly. But the Premier Sports commentators kept on talking about how instrumental Hardy was and Ruben was the understudy and this, that, and the other, which is quite disrespectful.
That does annoy me, because when you've got two strong players in that position, you're pushing each other on and you're pushing each other to be better. It's good to have that competitiveness. But Rod is the man who writes these things down.
Yeah. So let's talk through from 1 to 15 then again. So I guess we're sticking with our strongest front row again. It's going to be.
I'm laughing. Are we not going 15 to 9 and then 1 to 7?
He can't defrise him.
Can you not get around?
My brain wouldn't handle it. No, it'd be too much for my pretty little head. Because I'm also juggling three different screens here. One of them I'm reading last week's lineup off. One of them is the one that I'm typing into Word. Then I'm trying to chat with you guys. So
I might have to abstain next time because I can't do everything for one up. I'm afraid.
You need a notebook. Go old school. You need a notebook.
Yeah, then I'm looking up and down all the time, and that's just as hard, isn't it? It's like texting and driving. Texting and driving.
And kill yourself on a computer, you dickhead. But anyway,
the podcast does not break the law. We'll just need to point that out as well. No. I just talk and it sends people random messages because my phone's plugged in. So I talk into it and then it sends people random messages and they ask me, "Are you okay?" Obviously not. Google's doing me dirty. But I would say we stick with our best front three. Yeah, 100%.
Okay, and in the second row then. So last week we had Ratty and Sutton. Sutton, made a stake for the position the week before and earned another starting spot. Any changes this week?
No, I like Ratty, man.
I'd go Davis personally for a bit more front and nastiness this week, possibly. I may even. I don't know, I was thinking Ratty at 6 possibly as well, but then where do you play Moriarty, who I think needs to play in this type of game as well?
Moriarty. I think he needs that name.
So I would say Ratty with Davis personally. But
yeah. And what about on the bench? Would we go for? I think this is. It could be a game for a 6-2 split, with the strength of Glasgow up front, and actually we haven't been making all of our backs changes in every game, have we, so far?
No.
We have been keeping some behind on occasion. So
is this
potentially one to have
squad mentality?
Yeah,
quite possibly, yeah.
I think it's
especially if you've got somebody like, because Ratty, like you did Saturday, can switch into the back row if needs be as well. So the cover there as well. You'd imagine Deeds would maybe on the bench as well.
Absolutely.
So on the bench. Should we stick in Sutton or Fender for now?
I'm tempted.
Those are our main options. Although Ryan Smith is close to being back as well, isn't he?
I've heard a rumour that it's iffy for this week.
Okay.
But they're
which in all likelihood in all likelihood, that means no then, doesn't it? Because
I would say he's
I
going to have a
think,
soft launch into Welsh rugby against the Dragons if I was a betting woman. Not that I've heard that one way or the other.
Yeah.
okay.
But
I'd probably put Fender on the bench, and that's not to disrespect Sutton at all. He's done very little
he had a
wrong in
big
the last two
game.
matches, to be fair. He's done well. I would prefer Fender on the bench for no major reason, to be honest. Just, yeah.
Well, probably a physiological reason, which again is nothing that Sutton can do about that. But Fender offers that line-out option, that
Yeah.
a really good line-out option. Plus, he contributes to the call-in in the line-out as well. So if we
Yeah.
lose a bit of that leadership, then he can come on and fill that role. Okay. Right, now the difficult one, as it always is every week. What about the back row?
I'm bringing Jack in. He's our talisman for the
Yeah.
big game.
hmm
That again, that is absolutely no disrespect to Harry Deeves in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I want him on the bench. He has had a phenomenal 3 games. Absolutely phenomenal. First game back for Jack, I would take Jack off at 60 minutes and I would put Deeves on.
hmm Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
You would
locked
expect
in.
Jack to start one of the next 2 matches before the international break.
Ready for Wales.
And I would say he starts this weekend
Glasgow.
as our bigger test. No offense to
Mhm.
the Dragons, but yeah, you'd expect him to start this one, maybe
Yeah.
to sharpen him up.
Okay. So is this the game that we see Moriarty and Morse on the field at the same time, or who would you have in the 6 and 8 jerseys?
I would, yeah.
I would, yeah. I agree with you.
So that's
Because
Moriarty at 6, presumably, and Morse at
Yeah.
8. Yeah.
Yeah,
Morse,
I think so.
that Morse try was beautiful. It was
Mhm.
really, really good try.
Yeah.
And I think he has obviously had a very good off season because he looked, I know I use this phrase all the time, fit as a butcher's dog. He was quick, he was nippy, he was gnarly, to use Rod's phrase. And then if you've got the power and that controlled rage of Moriarty as well,
Yeah.
that's a banging 3 for me, that is.
Yeah.
I think Morse could end up having a bit of a Henry Pollock type season this year. He's just got that X factor about him, isn't he, where he does things he don't expect on the pitch. And I think he might be that kind of player for us this year that everybody sits up and
Yeah,
takes
and he's just
notice.
he's not gonna have the celebrations and the bits and bobs because he's
No,
getting
he won't. No,
Pollock's
he'll go.
getting a lot of hate again, isn't he?
He
I
is,
think he's on a scale, a
Oh,
spectrum of some
100%.
kind.
100%.
So I think we need to leave Pollock alone.
Which is
because
fine,
He's just
yeah.
in his own. He's in his own lane. He's doing his own thing.
Yeah.
Leave him be. I don't mind him.
Exactly. And he's a hell of a talent, as is Morse, I think. And this year is the chance for Morse to break out.
What a phenomenal young player, like 21. Come on, like behave
Yeah.
yourself now, young man.
And to have that mentorship now from Moriarty alongside him, is quite exciting. Yeah. So we've already locked in Ruben at 9 with Hardy on the bench, potentially Lukey Dye if Hardy is knock is a bit more serious.
Yeah.
Forced into, not against our will, but Edwards is pretty much our only option
Number 10.
at fly
Yeah.
half. Centres. One of these boys is going to need a break soon.
Yeah. I know I'm a big Boshoff advocate, sorry, is the word I'm looking for. I don't know how far off he is from coming back.
I haven't seen any training photos or
No.
anything like that at this stage of the week.
Which is a pity because we need him, don't we, at the moment? As I said, those two have
He's a little
socks
bruiser,
off and have
isn't he?
played very, very well in the last 3 matches, even, sorry.
Yeah.
But they've put a lot of effort in, a lot of
Phil looked good, not gonna lie.
He did, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
took
Boshoff
another
is the
nice
only
try.
option that you could bring in, I think. Otherwise, I think we go as we were.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Florence had a lovely break.
He's looked good, yeah.
He had a lovely break, didn't he, down the centre of the pitch at one point on the weekend.
How old
So
is he?
I have no
He's only
idea.
a baby, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's in his I could tell you exactly now because I have got a spreadsheet with everybody's
I was gonna
birthdays in
say.
it.
Oh my God, you absolute loser.
Have you got mine
he
and Sam's
is
in there as well?
so he's
Can I find out before all of this?
22.59
22.59
birthday. Yeah,
He's
he's
what, sorry?
22.
22.59 years old because
Oh,
it's done,
Jesus Christ.
you know,
Oh, have you got a girlfriend? How did you chat your girlfriend up? Look at my Excel spreadsheets.
Well, I could answer the question, couldn't I? So don't slate me.
I'm
Um,
not. I just, don't hate me because you hate me. I
No,
wish I
Forrest
was like
deserves
you.
his bench spot certainly, and if we haven't got the option of Boshoff in the next couple of weeks, then I think he starts possibly
yeah.
against the Dragons even maybe. So
Uh-huh. And then back three stays the
has to
same.
say that. Yeah, I
But
think
yeah, you can't like, and I
Yeah.
think those. I just think again those relationships and those combinations are maturing really, really well. So for me, I can't see any. If it ain't broke at this point in the season, don't fix it, is my
yeah.
feeling.
And quite a few of these lads are going to get a break pretty soon as well. There's
Yeah,
2 games before the international break. A lot of them are not going to be involved in the international matches over the autumn, so let's play them as much as we can before that break comes, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Last thing to decide, replacement front row. Do we stick with the same boys that did a job last week? Because they came on and they
Yeah,
maintained
they did.
a
No drop
standard.
at
There wasn't
all.
any drop off. And again, we caveat that with it being Zebra.
Yeah. Nice to
But
see Lewis back though, wouldn't it? After bad injury last season, good to see him back
Yeah,
on the pitch.
yeah, definitely. He's very dynamic. I do like him, and he's a handsome boy as well, isn't he? Okay, fantastic. So I'll pop that on our socials at some
pop
point in
that
the
on
week,
our
and
socials.
people can let
So
us know.
I'm going to be there. Rod's going to be there.
Hmm.
Mark,
I'm not moving from the sofa all week,
I
all
don't blame
weekend
you.
by the look of it. Saturday looks absolutely superb. We've got hopefully this Scarlets continuing to be rooted to the bottom of the table by the Lions. And then tea time, you've got Leinster Munster, which has been moved to Croke Park. So the atmosphere there is going to be absolutely
It's
incredible.
going to be electric.
And then our game then to finish off the day Saturday. So I am not going to be going very far on Saturday at all.
Amazing. Rod, you there?
Yeah, that's the plan. See how this cold develops, because genuinely at the moment, I can feel my throat closing up. You know, when it feels like there's a balloon
I
somewhere in your
hate that.
face, and it's
Yeah,
starting to inflate
yeah,
slowly, and it feels like it's getting a bit swollen in there. So
yeah.
yeah, I might be
Well,
passing out in 20 minutes. If I do, one of you will have to take over the
okay,
controls of all
no
this.
problem. I can do you a starlet. Um, so see you all there. A couple of people said hello to me again. Hello. I also saw Alec Merriman. He had a lovely wedding. Rather gutted that he arranged it for a fixtures day, but the wedding was lovely and he enjoyed his honeymoon. Mazel tov. He's not Jewish or anything. I just like the thought of saying Mazel tov. Saw quite a few people. Nice to say hello to everyone, and have a bit of a chat and stuff. Always good to jump in, bump into people like Jake and Davin. I couldn't see people. I'm not really a huggy person, but I've turned into a huggy person since doing this podcast because people expect a hug now. But I couldn't get near people on Saturday, so I fist pumped. So I might do the fist pump from now on rather than hug. So if you see me, we'll fist pump, not hug. But moving on to some news, then big one. We finally seen the official release of the European kit. Oh my God, Becky, look at her butt. It's amazing. I want the socks, I want the shorts, I want the top. John has told me, no, I can have the shorts, I can have the shirt and the socks. He thinks the shorts are a bit too far. I think, don't stamp on my dreams, John. I'm not going to look as good as Jack in it, right? I'm not. But I can see a pod coming on with me and my full kit.
It's a good Christmas kit, isn't it? Like Christmas present kit.
No,
Sorry, I'm getting more blocked up as the minutes go on now. My nose keeps closing. I keep
butter, sugar,
choking
and
on my
vinegar.
words. Yeah,
I'm not
sorry.
having it for Christmas. I need it before then.
You want it now, is it?
if
Say it a bit
I try and
louder
buy
so
it,
John can hear you.
Yeah.
I want
If
the
I try,
European kit.
if I try and buy it, there's going to be a massive alarm that goes off. Old man alert. Do not allow him to buy this kit.
Absolutely not. He's just messaged me up. Fuck off.
Oh, well, Christmas it is then.
Literally, right. I was in the shop and he went, can it not wait till payday? Yeah, it can.
But no, I can appreciate it, but it's not one for me. It's one that I maybe pick up in a couple of years, when somebody's selling it secondhand on Vinted or something. But no, it's not the kind of one that I'd spend
I need
too
it in
much
my
on.
life. I literally need it in my life so bad. It is beautiful. It's got the pink and the blue. I bought trainers off Vinted in the summer with the pink and the blue on. So I got Puma trainers that will match it perfectly.
Wow.
I've sprayed them so that they won't get marked. And like obviously we've got the new supporters badge, if you can see it. It's pink and
nice
blue. I
Goes with
got
that as
Rod
well.
one. Mark, I'll buy one and send one up to you, love.
Thank you.
And yeah, the shirt is stunning. So 10 out of 10, amazing. A couple of people have commented in our WhatsApp chat that it's giving them WWE Bret the Hitman Hart vibes from the 90s, which it totally is.
When you see
So I
it,
think
you see
we're
it.
going to call it the pink and black attack. And we're going to steal that of Bret the Hitman Hart. Any other comments on the kit other than please say, John, you need to buy this for Sam because Sam will look amazing.
John, you need to buy this for Sam because she'll look amazing in it.
And she needs the shorts.
Sorry, I should have been more convincing then.
Yeah, what? Like.
And John, if you can't do it, Santa, please, can you bring it for Sam instead?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not on that list for Santa. I'm definitely not on the nice list.
Funnier news this week, though, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's some funny news out there.
Well, loads of news. Lance tweeting about the attendance totally went over some people's heads. There was no way there was 6 and a bit thousand people at our Scarlet's game. I looked at like some stuff on the telly when I watched the 3 minutes thing.
Yeah.
He was lying. But
and they certainly weren't there by the end of the game, that's for sure.
They were not. They were not.
But honestly, I was one of the ones whose head that went straight over because I was on the terrace, and it is so good and lively there, and you feel like you're right amongst it. That genuinely, when I saw that, I didn't question it. I didn't catch the jibe at the Scarlets.
Yeah. Well, we had over 4,000 people there, which I think is great attendance for us.
Yeah.
You know, and as other regions can jibe as much as they like, do you know what? Don't care. Do not care. Whatever. You do you, we'll do us. Also another tweet on the weekend from a Dragons fan, and you know I got love for the Dragons. They are my other region. Apparently playing at the Brewery Field is embarrassing. Do you know what's embarrassing, mate? Your team consistently being at the bottom of the table. There, I've said it. Sue me. We got a pitch. We got a winning team. What more do we need? Okay, it's a little bit ramshackle around the edges. Do you know what? We're not at the bottom of the table. Go away. 2-1. Other big news, which is the reason why I've had the trolling over the weekend, is apology issued by Ospreys over the slide that went out about House of Luxury, and someone sending in the question, House of Luxury con men. Now, I would like
to ask on this because you were both there on that night. Was it?
We were there. Do you know what? House of Luxury were not really mentioned. They weren't. Certainly not in a derogatory way, in any way, shape, or form. They were not. We had, and I will say this louder for the people at the back, there was an app called Slido. There was no censoring by the Ospreys. You could send in whatever question you wanted. Okay, they picked up what they wanted to answer. They avoided the more controversial questions. They had no control over what people sent in.
And there was loads of stuff coming through there, you know,
Honestly,
of all sorts. Some people were just trying to be funny and get a quick laugh. Some people were trying to make serious points, you know. There was There was
I was in the
there was
middle.
probably worse things said in there. Is
There was.
the fact of it? Yeah.
There was,
Yeah.
right? So there was a really nice apology issue to say that, I I do feel it was a little bit sarcastic, but I'm here for it. About, causing distress and upset to House of Luxury who are based in Montana, where Montana does not require them to issue any financial records. Fact, not libel. So from my point of view, they've issued a statement. They've said, what did they say? On 23rd of September, we held a fan engagement evening. To manage the Q&A, we use an app which allows attendees to pose questions. One audience member posed the question, "Our House of Luxury conmen?" which briefly appeared on a large screen on the stage. Photos of the evening with this question visible in the background were subsequently published on our social media channels. We apologise to House of Luxury Group for distress and upset caused by the publication of these photos, to the House of Luxury board and those connected with the company.
So it's one of those funny half apologies where it's like,
Yeah.
we didn't do
We're
anything.
sorry, but we're
We
not
apologize that you got upset.
It very much
what?
sounds like somebody in House of Luxury has picked up the phone and gone, "Somebody's made fun of me, please say sorry, it made me hurt my feelings." And then they've had to issue this apology over it. It's just
the Ospreys have posted a picture with a fan question. Now,
it's just
I
ridiculous.
would like to point out to those Scarlets who are saying that it's libelous. No, let me educate you. I did a law degree from 1996 to 1999, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. Libel is when you make a statement, note the word statement, proposing to be fact. A question is not and cannot ever be construed as a statement. You're asking a question. The fact that you've used the word "are" means it's a question, even though there's not a question mark on the end of it. You are not making a statement. If the fan had posted in House of Luxury are conmen rather than "our House of Luxury conmen," note the change in words, guys, then yes, could possibly be libel. So back in your box over the libel.
But also the case wouldn't be against Ospreys anyway, it would be against the individual.
Against the
individual, yeah.
Managed through a map, through an app, and everybody was posting on there anonymously, so there'd be no tracing that back anyway. So it's, it's just
where
you're safe, Rod. It's okay. You're safe, Rod. It's fine. It's not going to come back to you. It's okay.
Yeah, that's a really good point. There's somebody out there who's pantsing themselves right now, aren't they?
It's not me. There were other shit housery things that I posted, but it wasn't that. And I think the only things the Ospreys are guilty of is not proof checking the pictures before they went out. Simple as it was a good photo. That's the bottom line. So apology done. However, been picked up by Wales Online. Scarlets are in absolute uproar about
not Wales Online. Why would they? I fancy that.
So for me, the things that I would like to point out is that Ospreys apologised for something that one of their fans did. Did Scarlets come out and apologise when their supporters trust objected to planning permission at St Helens? No. Did Scarlets come out when Coventry posted a statement to say that they were in arms with their Scarlets brothers? Screw the other regions, we're with you. No. So as far as I'm concerned, we've been classy. We've taken the higher ground. We've apologised for something that's not our fault. We could take a feather out of our book for that. Do you know what I mean? So
and it wasn't even on our radar before the statement, was it? It wasn't like there was like a public discourse or anything.
No.
Was there? It was just that was the first we heard of it.
Yeah. So I think it's bobbins. I then had a fair bit of flack on social for saying, well, we've apologised for something that's not our fault. We've taken the high ground. We've been quite classy about it. there's one particular Turk fan who just keeps posting to everybody who commented on the Wills Online article who used to be an Osprey. Why are you so obsessed with us? Why are you so obsessed with us? Mate, in your world is still 1985. You still don't know Princess Di and the Queen have died. Calm down. Like I'm that unbothered by you. Like behave yourself. And it's just all rather funny. I don't know a great deal about this, but we'll draw a line under that. Like, it's petty, it's childish, it's below us. Let's stay in our lane. Just before we came on air, then we know that I love Welcome to Wrexham and everything else. Apparently, a Hollywood consortium of various directors are interested in buying Cardiff and doing a Welcome to Wrexham style documentary about Welsh rugby. What the actual?
It's not the same as it. It's not going to take off the same as Welcome to Wrexham. I mean, for one, they're not. They're not Ryan Reynolds for a start, are they? They're four directors who nobody knows who they are unless you're an absolute film buff. It's just nonsense, isn't it? I mean,
Wrexham Lager, brains. Yeah. Wrexham Lager, Clark's pie. Like, it's not there, is it? And if they needed subtitles for them up north in Wrexham, they're going to need them for that lot down there, for sure. But that's, Scarlets have signed someone in from down under, New Zealand.
Crusaders youngster, isn't it? Who's looks very, very promising, to be fair.
Looks a good player because they've got a couple of injuries, but I'm whipping us on because we had quite a number of questions that we didn't get to last week because of my issues. And we had quite a number of questions this week. And I think we'll be able to answer them quite quickly. The first one is, why are other teams so obsessed with our attendance? Jealousy. Because it's not important, because we're financially sound without the attendance. Anyone else got anything to add?
I mean, we're all much of a muchness, apart from Cardiff, obviously, who have a bigger attendance than the capital city you'd expect them to.
Well, they give away loads of tickets.
Yeah, the rest of us are much of a muchness, aren't they? When the Scarlets can say they got 6,000, but they didn't. Yeah. The Dragons have got a loyal core of fans.
Men of Gwent, yeah.
Yeah, but nobody can really show off to say that they've got a massively higher attendance.
Yeah. And if we keep
4 seasons, whatever it is, but yeah.
If we keep getting wins and there's consistently an atmosphere like there was on Saturday, then people will come back whilst rugby's in Bridgend because it's a rugby town. I saw people there on Saturday that I haven't seen in years and that haven't gone to watch a rugby game in years just because it was in Bridgend. Yeah. So we'll see how they change.
And it's the general Welsh rugby apathy as well, isn't it? The ticket sales for the autumn matches are low currently as well. There's not an appetite for rugby across Wales currently, not just at regional level, but international level as well. And, once this business is hopefully sorted in terms of the game in Wales, it'll pick up across the board, won't it? So
it's not like we're all miles apart. We're all still pissing in the same puddle, really, aren't we? It's not like they're pulling in 30,000 fans every weekend.
It's not like it is a match of a matchness. Like, it's a bit comparing apples with pears. Like, it is not a pissing contest. You're right. It's not. We've already discussed this. Dave said, if Jack is fit, does he get to start against Glasgow on Saturday? Yeah,
without a doubt,
he does.
We're not going to have much time with him naturally this season, are we? With international commitments and other stuff. So when he's available, you've got to use him, and you've actually got to be quite selfish about it. Mark Jones shouldn't be thinking, I've got to have the greater good in mind and preserve him for Welsh duty. He should just be thinking, right, not use and abuse him, but use him when he's available and play each week as it comes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So get him in.
Next one we've already discussed, which is the Euro kit, harking back to the 1990s WWE, Bret the Hitman Hart, black and pink stuff that he had on. Rod, this is before your time, so you may not fully read.
Yeah, and I was never into wrestling anyway. That doesn't interest me. So.
Honestly, it is. I'll have to send you some pop culture references because it really does harken back. And they've said, can we steal his pink and black attack catchphrase? I already have on Instagram. So yes, we can. Shall we call him Harry the Hitman Deeves, maybe?
Yeah.
Could be a new
Works, doesn't
nickname.
it? It works.
It works. Someone else sent in Martin Lewis. Obviously gutting not to have the bonus point for the tries on Saturday. However, do you think the system could be changed so that you could get a bonus point for nilling an opponent, as that's far harder than being within 7 of them? Yeah, I think that's a good idea. How you get that through URC or whatever, I don't know. But I think that's a good idea.
There's so many systems out there, aren't
I
there, that
know,
you can
yeah.
pinch from other sports, and they've all got their merits and they've all got their drawbacks. There's what's the football system that if you're not the football system, but
You've
I'm
got to
trying to
win
think of
or lose,
what
and
one is based on how many ahead you are, not just getting the benchmark of 4 tries, isn't it? So there's options.
Yeah. And
I
there's
think
no
it
point
works
asking me.
relatively well.
There's no point asking me because I want to go back to 4-point tries and no bonus points at all and end up with 6-all draws on a Saturday afternoon.
4-point tries, 2-point conversions.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, we've seen in previous seasons how competitive it is, certainly in the middle of the table. Yes, it tends to be a bit more of a spread at the extreme ends, isn't it? Down at the bottom and up at the very top as well. Though it looks like it might be a bit different this season. But
Yeah.
generally, I think the scoring system kind of works quite well and does keep things relatively competitive. Almost too competitive, you know. Sometimes you almost wish for more opportunity to spread the gap when you've got a bit of momentum. Sometimes it feels really difficult to work your way up, doesn't it?
For the league, it's better to have so many teams bunched up around that playoff picture, isn't it? That it makes it more
It's all to
interesting to
play
the end of the
for.
season, doesn't it? Yeah, it's all
Exactly.
less the money and
All to
the
play for.
yeah, exactly.
Next question from Martin Lewis. How well do we think we're going to do if we can get our set piece to click? We discussed that a bit earlier on, and we've said set piece was looking far better on Saturday. Once that clicks, Martin, I think we're going to be a force to be reckoned with. I really do. And this is not a girly question from Martin. He said, does Dan Casende have the best thighs at the Ospreys, if not the URC?
Best thighs?
Thighs. I don't think he means it from a girly fancying thing. I think he means it from using them to get him up in the air.
Oh,
How good
okay.
he is aerially.
Oh, because I interpreted it from a aesthetic point of view as well.
I think he's got thighs.
And I was going to comment and say that they are fantastic thighs. And the detail that I love in particular is that he's got his own branded underskins underneath his shorts with his name printed onto his shorts.
The boy's got branding.
Yeah,
You have to have special thighs to have your own name on your thigh.
Oh, Daniel, if you watch this, Dan, don't get embarrassed when we chant shit like that. Just get involved and do the. We love it. We've embraced you as Ospreys fans. We love you. The fact that chant, you've got that chant, and you're one of the only ones that we've managed to get off the ground. Really, it's quite flattering. So embrace it, babes. Dan from Town Hill. Next question, scanning of tickets, which we discussed. That is getting better. It was the paper tickets that there was a problem with on Saturday, which held everything up. Prices of food and the food offering in the grounds. I had a burger. It was stunning. The burger I had was the signature burger, which was beef patty, cheese, really crispy bacon, and a hash brown. It was beautiful. It was really lovely. It was like £9 for the burger.
So those food options that Ospreys have tweeted out over the last week, are those going to be the same food options through the season?
So yeah.
Okay.
And they run by the secret group. Pizza smelled lovely, but you're paying like a tenner for half a pizza. So it's not cheap, but it seems good quality. My friend Ian had the hot dog, which again was £9. He said it was a lovely hot dog, but he doesn't think it was a £9 hot dog. So, you know,
I was in drinking mode on the weekend, so I didn't try anything, but everything smelt very good.
Yeah, the burger was tasty, and like the fries and stuff, and it was boiling hot coming off the griddle. Only problem was like the weight, but you expect that wherever you are. Bar prices standard for like a ground, really £6 odd for a pint. Queues for the bars needs to improve. people were missing shit because they were queuing, but that I think they can get the marquees there for Oktoberfest. So I think once that goes, they can probably get a few more bars in. So
Honestly,
hopefully that'll improve.
terrace side, we didn't have these issues. So I
Did you
think
not?
maybe it's a case of everybody in the stand, in the main stand, in the seats, just walking a bit further around the edge of the pitch just to use some of the other facilities because we
Yeah.
didn't queue on entry, didn't queue to get to the bar. Toilets were pretty free. It was quite good on our side. So use everything available, guys.
I'm still a bit precious about the toilets, if I'm being honest. I would like that improved.
They were upgraded this time compared to the preseason. They weren't Portaloos this time. They were the proper white. They almost looked like those little classroom
Oh, I
style
didn't
porta
see
cabins.
those.
Yeah, so
We had like
they were much
brick
better,
blocks
much
our
better.
side.
Hmm.
So I'll perhaps go further for PP on Saturday. Question from Jake: do you think our forwards made an impact from the bench? Maybe not an impact, but they can certainly continue the standard
Yeah,
that we were
There was no
playing.
drop in
It
quality
didn't
with them when
drop
they
in
came.
quality. So
no.
impact, maybe not. However, they continued in the same vein, and we were quite happy with that. Your boy sent in a question, Rod.
Who's that?
Ozzy asked, how do you
Oh yeah.
rate his performance last season? How do you think he's going to be this season? Now, I got some feedback. Ozzy did not have his drum. So, Ozzy picked up a bin and used a bin.
Titty.
Genius. That is
Fair play.
entrepreneurial right there. So you've
Well,
topped last year's performance
So what's
yeah,
already.
happened
he's
to the drum?
already exceeded expectations.
Yeah,
So what's happened with the drum? Are you not allowed to take drums to
absolutely
Bridgend?
don't know.
There's
The
some
drum wasn't there. However, he used a bin in front of me. All good. He was also dancing and raving for the crowd. Again, top notch. At the Exeter game, he gave out sweets to all the kids and me. So you just excelling at life, Aussie lad. I speak fluent Aussie, so I was arranging for like selfies for people on Saturday because they were too scared to ask him and they were coming up to me. So I was like, "Oh, will you have a selfie with my little friend?"
What does that sound like? Is it like Pingu language?
I don't know. It's just we. Do you know what he said to me on Saturday?
Well,
Not Aussie, you. Forgot about that until just now. Apparently, I talk like a mosh, Mark. Apparently, I'm the Swansea
well,
Nessa, he told his friend Brogan.
Oh wow!
yeah. Well, you used the words. I just agreed.
I could be more mush, let me tell it, when I absolutely and I can totally be more mush than I am, man.
To be honest, though, what you just described with the relationship with Ozzy and how you were enabling his relationship with other people on Saturday, it sounds like you're his pimp a little bit, maybe.
I could walk like a pimp. Could certainly do with a king.
Just
Yeah,
hanging around in the
potentially.
background, looking
Yeah,
intimidating.
just like
You could start charging, can you, for anybody to get anywhere near Ozzy? You could have a little side hustle on
I'd
the
be like
go.
Huggy Bear now on Starsky and Hutch. Again, that will put me over Rod's head. But that is the last question. However, I have saved the last question for my rando of the week because a couple of people have sent this in. And it's to do with you, young Rodri.
Okay.
So there's been some comparisons against you and Derry because Derry's sporting a tash. And the question I've had from several people is, who wins a tash off between Rod and Derry?
Well, I think the question is who rocked it first and who inspired who. And I think if you look at the photographic evidence, see Exhibit 1 and 2, 3, 4, just Google it, you'll find that I had it first. So, yeah,
First
trendsetter.
doesn't necessarily mean best, or does it?
I think first always means best.
Because you both got the same colouring, really, as well. I think it must be a Bridgend thing.
Yeah, bit of the ginger
Gingy,
sort of
yeah.
tinge, yeah. And
Yeah.
Ryan Smith now as well. I've had a couple of comparisons to him too.
They'll
People say
probably
the
come
hair
further
as
in the
well. The
season.
hair and the moustache.
Yeah, you just haven't got the
Yeah.
height, bibs. I hate to break this to you.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe if you do like a face blend AI between Lake and Ryan Smith, maybe that makes me.
That could be.
Maybe I'm
Do you
like
know
a
what? That's your
perfect middle
homework for
ground.
this week, that is.
Yeah.
Mark, who do you think wins a tash off, Rod or Dewi?
I have to be loyal to Rodgers, isn't I? You know,
Oh,
100%. I'm sticking with the pod. Yeah, 100%.
Stick with the pod. The OG Tasha.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, not because it's pod, but yours is better. I think you've grown it in for longer. You've had longer to cultivate it, and I think perhaps Dewi's just getting a head start on November.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There's been a lot of different styles to get to where I am now, and a lot of mistakes. I did sport the. It may
The
have even been
handlebars.
when we started this podcast, but I proper curled it up, and it got to the point where it was almost looping back on itself at one point. So, yeah, I've been around the block, and this is where I've settled. So I like to think
Well,
it's probably it's the best combination of looks or whatever you want to call it, and
yeah,
ease of maintenance.
yeah.
Because anything that gets a bit too complicated and frilly and whatever, it's just you're thinking about it constantly. It's getting in the way. It's not worth the effort, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, so we've decided in a tash off at this point in time, you are winning against Dewi.
This is about the only thing I'd win against Terry, so I'll take it.
You're not winning anything else, are you?
No, no,
and that's
no.
not me being offensive, but it is what it is, Bibs.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was my rando of the week. I saw that and I thought that come through, and I thought that's going to be my rando of the week because I like that. And if anybody does want to send in a rando to us, then send them in. I'm more than happy to put the lads on the spot with the randos that you've got, or even if you want to put me on the spot, send the rando to the lads and they can surprise me with it because I'm sure they'd love to do that and pop me on the spot with it. But that's kind of it for us this week. I'm loving the questions. Keep bringing them in. It gives me a chance to use my post notes and my stationery because I'm a lover of stationery that I don't always use. And when I left my last job, I actually got sent some really good post-it notes, which are not sweary, but they're that kind of thing.
Rod's mum's not going to like those.
She only listens on Spotify, so
No, literally, WTF is what's this for? ASAP is as slow as possible. OMG is officially mindless garbage. FYI is frequently yawning inside. BTW beginning to worry, and TMI is too many idiots. That was one of my leaving gifts from my last job, and my other leaving gift, which amuses me, things I can't say out loud in meetings. And there's a new one on every single page. So what a surprise, this meeting is overrun again. Let me check if I care. No, nothing. I'm having a severe case of deja vu. So that amuses me when I'm using it as well during the day. But we're now up to 154 subscribers, I believe, on YouTube. I can't check the data on Spotify. But again, had some really nice comments on YouTube this week with regards to the pod, with Peter Davis saying another great episode and a well said poignant message toward the end, guys. Well done. We did get a bit serious before I got cut off last week, but it still stands. If you need to talk, we're you. Then did you get Owen Williams and Owen Watkins mixed up? Williams has moved on, Watkins still with us. Yeah, I'm 48, I get a bit confused sometimes. But it's all good in the hood. Couple of shout outs as well. Mark, how's your challenge going? with your walking? Seems like you're doing quite well.
Yeah, I'm plodding on, literally plodding on. I've done 22 out of 62 miles that I'm due to do by the end of the month.
Amazing.
So yeah, I'm getting there. I've done 17 this weekend. Actually, I had a weekend off, so I've done 17 miles this
Wow.
weekend. Yeah, if you, as you say, a little bit of a shout out. If you do want to sponsor me, then I'll put the link
We'll
on
get the
my
link up.
Twitter and Instagram or whatever. Try and keep me going for the rest of the month. But yeah, raising for Dementia UK in memory of my mother-in-law who passed away last month. So,
Absolutely. Fantastic charity. Geraint, who listens to the pod, who's a really big supporter, he's also doing similar, and I think I've done his link as well. He's raising money and doing the same kind of walking with the dog thing. So
and Geraint had to have one up on me, didn't he? He had to walk further.
100, is it
Had to do
100
it, didn't he?
or
100
something like
miles.
that?
Not satisfied with 62, Geraint. I'm so happy.
No. I got tattooed yesterday in aid of Rise Above Cancer charity. I've added 2 to the collection, so I've now got 18. My mother's decided that I'm on the naughty step. However, what did please me yesterday, that was my brother was not with me, but he also got into trouble. Joint enterprise. Yes. First time in my life ever at 48. Normally he does something and I get in trouble. This time I've done something and we're both in trouble. Yay, go me. Yeah.
So mature, Sam.
I know. Nearly £3,000 raised for the Rise Above Cancer charity yesterday.
Awesome.
And I came away with 2 nice tattoos, so I'm a happy bun. John had one as well. So lots of good causes going on at the moment.
Can I give a shout out to a follower that we've got on Instagram that sent us a lovely message over the end of last week. Says, "Hi Blackfeather." His name's Ed. That's all I know.
Hi Ed.
Hi Ed. He said, "Hi Blackfeather. I'm a student in Cheltenham who's sort of gotten into rugby recently, and I quite like the Ospreys. Your pod has really got me further into them, and was just wondering where the best seats are in the new stadium, what games would be the best to watch, blah blah blah." So we've been having a lovely conversation over the last few days.
Not by me.
Where to go. Basically, all a down low on being an Ospreys supporter, and it looks like he might be coming to the Glasgow game. So that's really nice. So
Ed,
if you see us, say hello.
Please say hello. I'm going to be in the Riverside beforehand. You may not want to meet me on my lot, but if you do, come and say hello. Just be like, have a sticker or something on with, "Hi, I'm Ed." I might even be nice and buy you an OSC badge. You never know. I'm turning into a nice person at 48, guys. Like,
Impressed.
I am. Genuinely. As John says to me, you are the friendliest unfriendly person ever. Oh, right. I got to give a shout out to myself because Geraint asked me to give a shout out to myself. I'm only doing it because I know that he'll shout at me for not doing it. Sian has got mobility issues, and Sian loves going to the Ospreys. It's the highlight of her week going to see them, and there's no disability spaces at Brewery Field. However, I put Geraint in touch with the owner of Riverside Tavern because they've got some parking there, and he's managed to arrange with the landlord to be able to park because it's only a little hop, skip, and a jump across to the ground. I don't think I did anything major. I just kind of pointed someone in the right direction. So you don't need to build statues in my honor or anything, Geraint, or call me a legend. I just kind of pointed you in the direction, mate. But thank you for being kind and saying that I'm a nice person. I don't get told that very often. I usually get called a dickhead on social media, but it's all good. But I don't know if you saw as well, is a Scouse lad called Joe with curly hair. He posted on the Ospreys pages to say his girlfriend is Welsh. She's an Ospreys fan. He's a Scouser. He's got into rugby and he flew solo at his first Ospreys match on Saturday. And I met Joe in the Riverside beforehand and introduced myself. So Joe, if you're watching the pod, I'm glad you enjoyed Saturday, and I'm glad you flew solo. I'm glad you made friends there.
Christ, we're going international, guys. We've broken Wales and we're
Broken England. We're into England. We're into England.
That's international, Mark.
Yeah, boys. So you know the reach is there, and as I say, our subscription levels are growing on YouTube. Really grateful for the interaction. Like I love a bit of chat and whatever. So do the usual, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, share. You know, tell your friends, tell your enemies. Just, you know, we love having a bit of a conflab on a Monday evening. And we'll keep going as long as my manners dog keeps listening. But I've had a lovely weekend. I'm very much looking forward to this week. And it's been a pleasure. And my Welsh is getting better. So I'm going to do my sign off, but I'm going to say I'm Blaen y Gweill while I do it. So have a cracking week.
I say, what's Rod going to say now?
I'll shut up and I'll leave it to you, Sam. Yeah.
Absolutely not. Teach
impressive.
me something else.
Well, we'll do that in our own time, and you can bring it. That can be your homework, and then you can bring it next week. But should we all Blaen y Gweill together?
On 3,
yeah.
1, 2, 3. Blaen y
Gweill. Blaen y Gweill.
That was shit, lads.